Welcome to another edition of your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show.
Question is, did she subscribe?
Right.
I don't know. She's down on YouTube.
Representing from the Boondocks. What up, Jobo?
Hello, what's up? Happy Wednesday.
What up? She repping her Hey Sister Soldier look right now. Everybody give it up for Bunny. What's happening, Bunny?
What up? Happy hump day.
T-Bone, what's going on, brother?
I'm back, and I don't know about better than ever, but I'm back.
What is going on, party people? It is your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. I am your boy Smooth. I think that may be on a highlight reel tape. And we're glad that you are tuning in live along with the millions
And millions
of the platform sports talk show fans on once again your Wednesday night Sports Delight.
Really?
Or
Brinks truck backing up in his driveway with
There you go.
97 million. There you go.
all you hear is this.
Probably somebody who's doing something to give back and letting the next generation.
Say straight.
Have me syrup on here.
Come on now, don't hit me too up. You know I get emotional.
But people watching around the world, no pressure. And we already have our favorite fan, Ms. Williams, saying, welcome, Brandon.
Well, how are you? Hi, Ms. Williams.
A guy who tried to give it his all and put on for the city, to be truthful. Because like I said, I'm St. Louis die hard.
The views of Smooth does not reflect the Platform Sports Talk Show or its sponsors.
People will come, Ray. They'll come to Iowa for reasons they can't even fathom. They'll turn up your driveway, not knowing for sure why they're doing it. They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing for the past. Of course, we won't mind if you look around, you'll say. It's only $20 per person. They'll pass over the money without even thinking about it. For it is money they have, and peace they like.
Ray, just sign the papers.
And they'll walk out to the bleachers. Sit in shirt sleeves on a perfect afternoon. They'll find they have reserved seats somewhere along one of the baselines. Where they sat when they were children and cheered their heroes. And they'll watch the game. And it'll be as if they'd dipped themselves in magic waters. The memories will be so thick they'll have to brush them away from their faces.
Ray, when the bank opens in the morning, they'll foreclose.
People will come, Ray.
You're broke, Ray. You sell now or you lose everything.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. But baseball has marked the time. This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again. Oh, people will come, Ray. People will most definitely come.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to a special Tuesday night edition of the Platform Sports Talk Show. I am your boy Smooth, and from the Boondocks, we have Jobo. Jobo, good evening.
Good evening. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Yeah. It's always weird on a Tuesday. I had to stop myself from saying Wednesday, but yeah, happy Tuesday. And yeah, hope all's good.
Yep, and as you all seen and heard, I'm sure y'all seen it. James Earl Jones passed away yesterday. Man, what a voice. what a voice. One of the most iconic voices that you will ever hear in movies, TV, commercials, you name it. Him, Morgan Freeman, they just have those voices, you know what I'm saying? And uh, he went on home to glory and just an amazing, amazing career, amazing man. So our condolences to the family, but it's also a celebration for him because he does so much for entertainment purposes. From that movie, Field of Dreams, of course, The Sandlot. I mean, just so many things that he was a part of, the Lion King, and just so many things that he was
Darth Vader.
Coming to America. Just
Yep.
so much. So it's amazing, and just an amazing career. So definitely thank you to Mr. James Earl Jones.
It's crazy. Is just last week we were talking about our favorite sports movies, and I always said, I always say Field of Dreams, but that's just like a top 3 for me in general in all of movies. And but yeah, it's sad, like I said, it's he's this movie, The Sandlot, so like big baseball movies in my life that I've seen over and over again. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and he's been Darth Vader for since the 70s, and obviously Mufasa and Lion King. So yeah, and like you said, Coming to America, just he's been all over the place, and everyone loves him. So yeah, it's a big loss, but yeah, he's in a better place now.
Yep, better place. And once again, just an incredible, incredible career that he had, life that he had in general. So he would definitely never be forgotten. And right now, I am working on getting our stream back on Instagram. For some reason, it's just stopped working. So I'm gonna get it back together real quick, doing some multitasking, but we should be good on people who's watching on IG. We'd be like, hey, what happened? I got y'all covered. Let me see here. Let me make sure that it turns us back on Instagram, because we want everyone to be able to watch us on so many different sites at this time. So let's see if this is good to go here. Wait on the update, and hopefully we'll be good to go there. But until then, welcome once again on a Tuesday night. Feels weird, but we are here. And for those wondering, man, why are they here on a Tuesday night? Well, gotta do what I gotta do as a husband. Tomorrow, my SA Dub, my beautiful wife, Jamie, and I will be celebrating 3 years, our wedding anniversary 3 years ago on 9/11. We made it happen, and we're going to celebrate. And I will be a fool to put anything in front of our wedding anniversary. So, to the wifey, she's probably, I think she's getting her hair done right now because she's going to be looking so spectacular like she always does, but she's add a little more flavor to it. She's getting ready. Maybe she's watching the show or whatnot, but love you. And this is amazing. Already 3 years as of tomorrow, and it's just been a dream. It's been amazing, and look forward to many more years. Love you, wifey, and just been great. And Joe, I know you and B celebrating is what, next month? Is that correct?
Yeah, October 25th will be our 10 years of marriage. So it goes by fast. I mean,
Yeah.
a house, 2 houses, an apartment since, and dogs, and a baby, all kinds of stuff, different jobs, and made so many friends and memories. So it is crazy just to think that it's almost been 10 years. Every time we tell someone it's almost here, they're like, I cannot believe that, so it just goes by real fast. You just have to enjoy it.
Speaking of enjoying, we hope that you do enjoy your Wednesday night sports delight tonight on a Tuesday, though. But you can check us out, y'all. Give us a follow on Facebook, on the X. Go on Instagram. We all live on Instagram again. I don't know what happened, but we're back on there live as well. Of course, you can email us at platformsportstalkshow@gmail.com if you know someone or even yourself who loves sports, has a great story to tell, or someone that you know, that would be great for us to have on our show. Shoot us that email once again, platformsportstalkshow@gmail.com. And of course, go on YouTube. Joe, they can subscribe and click on that
bell,
because anytime we go live,
y'all will be notified.
And also, You can catch us on Hot 365 Radio, where it is always hot. Not tonight because we are on Tuesday, but usually on Wednesdays it'll be there. The recording of tonight's show will be on tomorrow for Hot 365 Radio listeners, so they won't be like, "Oh man, I wanted my sports fix." We got you. I'll make sure that we are good to go with that. The shows are archived on all the social media networks as well that I listed earlier. And of course, going back to Hot 365 Radio, you can go to the website or go to their app on Android or iOS. Just put in Hot 365 Radio and you're good to go. They also have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Hot 365 Radio. Every first Wednesday of the month. And what I say last week was an amazing show. A lot of great feedback, a lot of shares on social media from even on my TikTok page, Smoooth Productions, everywhere. A lot of shares, a lot of love for Ladies Night and the amazing show they had with the St. Louis Slam Women's Professional Football Team. They came through and had a great interview. Shouts out to Tamika Brents, to Kiana Smith, to the coach, Quincy Davis. Just amazing job. To Annie, who came through. Of course, Bunny and yourself, Joe, and then even Coach Brittany Willis came through for a minute. So excellent job, excellent show last Wednesday. And then, of course, the last Wednesday of the month, the fellas with the man cave, they go crazy in the cave, as I can say. They go crazy. And also, if you haven't checked it out yet, go on YouTube as well. Put in Smoooth Conversations. Once again, Smoooth with 3 O's. Subscribe to that page. I have about 2 months worth of great shows already, and it's just getting started, y'all. It's an amazing, amazing show. I have, great guests on the show that have great stories, talk about their experiences, whether they're singers, spoken word artists, entrepreneurs, you name it. It doesn't matter. This is not just about sports. This is about life in general, and it's a very great show. So subscribe to it right now on YouTube. Smoooth Conversations, where the conversations are always smooth. So, oh yeah, also, as you can see underneath my name, go to smoothproductions.com and go to the shop. You can get your own customized shirt or hoodie. I got you. Let me know what's happening. Just go to the website, smoothproductions.com. Go to the shop section. You'll see all different options in regards to shirts that I have already made, or you can have a shirt that you want created, or a hoodie, or a sweater. I got it coming soon. I'll be doing caps very soon, so stay tuned for that. So anything you need, you can go on smoothproductions.com to the shop and put in that request, and you will be taken care of in a professional way. And I had to say professional, Joe, because before you got on this stream, I was kind of pissed because of unprofessionalism strikes the Saunders family again. So we put in a request for this what you call this thing, dishwasher in the kitchen. So the company came out, they installed it, but they couldn't do the whole thing because they had to wait till the plumber comes by and does his part and finish the installation. So we pretty much got our dishwasher like 3/4 in, but the plumber has to do the rest of it. So the people who came and installed the dishwasher, who took the old one away and put the new one in, I saw the person talk to the plumber like, hey, want to make sure that you know about this place, this address, come here. We was told they're gonna be here today to get things set up. And guess what happened, Joe?
It didn't show up.
Nobody called, nothing. I had to reach out. And that's my biggest pet peeve. And that's why I take so much pride with what I do with anything related to Smoooth Productions, the platform Sports Talk. Y'all know I be on y'all. You know what I'm saying? I be on everyone because, I have a standard as well that I set for myself. And, as a businessman, it's just very important as a business to be on your P's and Q's at all times. And communication is so critical. You have to communicate. And my thing is that if I didn't communicate with the company, then ain't no telling when our dishwasher would have got done. So I had to go ahead and be on a ASS. Like this is
And it shouldn't be like that.
it shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't talking about just no, local whatever mom and pops. I'm talking about a worldwide company that's known, that should be known for having great service. And I was disappointed. So, like I said, professionalism is key, man. And whoever is starting a business has a business, take that serious. You know what I'm saying? Because people are going to be looking at that and how you move and do things and how you conduct business. So, hopefully, we was told that it'll be on Friday now because that's like their next available day. But hopefully, we'll be taken care of by the end of the week. So, a little bit of frustration, but we here and we're gonna make this thing happen. Let's go ahead and get things started with our first segment. Of course, it normally is. You now have my attention. What sports story or sports stories has your attention, Joe Bow?
I don't know. There's some Cardinal stuff, but I know we have a Cardinal segment later. So I just found out today that the Detroit Tigers are 3 games within a wild card spot right now, and they sold at the deadline, and so it's kind of that has my attention right now. They have some good young talent. People have been the last couple of years like, hey, they do have some prospects which they have, and then it never just the last couple of years it hasn't panned out. But this year, even after trading Flaherty and whatnot, they didn't trade Skubal like a lot of people thought they should have or would have. Kept him. He's probably going to win the AL Cy Young, and then just young like Riley Green. Riley Green's been so good for them. Parker Meadows, he's been great. So I mean, they just got some young talent that it's finally panning out, and they're 3 games within a wild card spot, which is wild to me because I did not see that happening.
Yeah, that's crazy how you brought that up because I was going to mention that during our baseball talk because I found out about it. And I'm like, wait a minute, they 3 games out. Like that's crazy. But I mean, that's the reason why they got the former manager from the Astros. What's his name? AJ Hinch.
Yeah, AJ Hinch.
Yeah, so it's like it's no surprise because he is known for being a great head coach. I mean, manager. So to have that team doing what they're doing now, do you know how Javi Baez has been doing?
I mean, he had another bad year, but I think it's his hip. I want to say he's done it for the year. He's on the shelf.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was his hip, but yeah, he's on the shelf. He had season-ending surgery, but no, I mean, they just got some good young kids there, and Matt Vierling, St. Louis boy, he plays there as well. So, I guess that, it's just something to keep an eye on moving forward. You got the Red Sox, them, and someone else are 3 games out, and then the Twins have the final spot. So Twins start losing some ball games, which they have been doing as of late. They're winning right now, but who knows? I mean, we got like 3 weeks left of the year.
Right. Yeah. So exciting times right now outside of St. Louis in regards to the playoff and, of course, the wild card race. My intention definitely has to be for me, and I had this talking with you in the pre-show, football. Football season is back, and it's just a different feel when football is back, man. Sunday, I enjoy, of course, going to church, but then just being on the couch and having NFL Red Zone on and going from one game to the next, just bam, 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 bam. Then checking out Sunday Night Football and checking out the debut of Tom Brady on Fox commentating and everything. I know a lot of people got some opinions about that, which, we'll talk about it now. I'll go ahead and say it. It's his first game. It's his first game. You know what I'm saying? Now there were moments where he would talk and he'll kind of go, then he'll kind of stop, then he'll kind of go again. But like I said, he's learning. It's his first game. He's not going to come out and be Greg Olson, you know what I'm saying, automatic, because I know that's what the people want. And I understand because he's a great analyst and everything. But you talking about Tom freaking Brady. He's a man that works on his craft, and he's going to do the same thing in regards to broadcasting. I mean, I know Tony Romo had a great start from the get go. Like he was predicting plays like crazy, and I know there was one play against the Cowboys and the Browns where Tom Brady predicted a sack, and it actually did happen. So people are going to be critics no matter what a person does, but I think Tom Brady will be just fine. Your thoughts, Joe?
Yeah, I didn't hear the Tom Brady stuff, but I've been seeing a lot of people trashing on him, and yeah, I mean, give him time. It'll happen. Like you said, he's he knows how to like master his craft, and he was great at football for so long. I'm sure he's gonna be fine at being a commentator for at football as well. So I mean, I think he'll be fine. Just give him time.
Yeah, and knowing him because he watched so much film as a player, I'm pretty sure he went home and saw his own playback and was like, "Oh, okay, you know what? Next time I'm gonna be more, this, or I'm gonna say,
Or he saw all of Twitter railing him. So I'm sure he'll be all right. He'll figure it out.
yeah." So, like I said, I have no worries about him. He's gonna be just fine. But once again, just so it's I said it before about the 3-year wedding anniversary, but this time goes by so fast, and just to look up now and we're back in the football season, and it's slowly starting to get cooler outside, and you just know, a different season is approaching. So, football is back, NFL, college, and we're going to go ahead and get right into our week 1 takeaways. Joe, was there anything out of week 1 that kind of had your attention?
Burrows and the Bengals didn't look great. That's something. Other than that, I mean, shoot, I felt like there wasn't anything that was super duper like exciting and very noteworthy for week 1.
So I'll go ahead and start with Thursday night football, the first game of the season, Ravens and Chiefs. And well, the overall thing first I want to say is that yes, we do know that it's the first week of the season. And a lot of teams were not starting their players. I mean, I recall doing when I was really, I still am, but not as I used to be in regards to the Rams. But like Sean McVay would never play certain starters in the preseason. Like Aaron Donald didn't touch the field for the last 3 or 4 seasons. Same thing with Matthew Stafford until the first game of the season. But I feel like that might change a little bit in the upcoming years, maybe starting next year, because you did see a lot of quarterbacks struggle. Even the veterans struggle to kind of get their rhythm. But going back to the Ravens and Chiefs, it just goes back to what I've always said. Lamar Jackson, he lost weight, he looks more elusive, but it still comes down to making plays when it matters the most, and he still lacks that. The Ravens may still have a great season. They may go to the AFC Championship game again. It's very possible. I mean, they should with what they got, but the Chiefs just show why they are the Chiefs.
Watching that game, I forgot that Derrick Henry was there.
And that's
he looks good in that purple, man. He looks good.
But when you just said something, you think now you probably would have said it just in general because you forgot that he went to the Ravens, but he wasn't utilized enough like he should have been, where he should have made a bigger impact. We'll see what, like I say, it's week 1, but we'll see how he's more utilized. Maybe because they're not facing the Chiefs. We'll see what happens, in regards to upcoming weeks. But he needs to play a huge factor for the Ravens to really go further than what they did last year. Packers and Eagles, the biggest thing is going to be, one, Jordan Love got hurt already. And one of the main reasons why he may have gotten hurt, now I know a player landed on his knee, but if you saw the field conditions out there in Brazil, it was pretty bad, Joe. And J.J. Watt was saying this on social media, is that when these teams be going to these international countries and playing on their fields, it's like the field crew how they do this grass is more so for like soccer players. You know what I'm saying? Where, you glide more and slide more.
Mm-hmm.
Football, it's you're digging into the turf, the grass. And when you don't have that certain grip, when you're trying to cut and dig in, do this and do that, that can harm someone. So with the NFL making all this money every freaking year, Joe, you would think that let's be smart and let's have an NFL ready grass sent to these locations where they're going. You know what I'm saying? So you
Yeah,
don't
like
have
they knew they were going there for a while, so why not be prepared? And like Love, he's a star or a star in the making, like I like watching him, so it sucks that, he's not going to be out all year, they say, but it does just suck. I don't like watching, the young talented dudes get hurt.
another shocker was well not shocker, well not another, excuse me. But one of the shockers was the Patriots beating the Bengals. Now, I know in the past couple of years the Bengals have slow starts, but this start is different because one, I don't think there's a lot of good chemistry on this team because Jamar Chase still hadn't signed a contract yet, and he was holding out until the first game of the season. So you're going to have that. Joe Burrow still trying to come back from his injury last year as well. So we'll see what happens in week 2. That will kind of determine the direction that I feel this team is going to go. Let's see anything else that had my attention. Oh, I know what we need to talk about real quick. Let's talk about Miami Dolphins and Tyreek Hill. For those who don't know, this photo here is after a touchdown, and he was displaying himself being handcuffed because prior to the game, and it's been all on social media, but he was detained by police as he was heading to the game. And he basically was saying in the press conference that what if he wasn't who he is? If he wasn't famous, would this be a different outcome? He was detained by police. Looks like some of the police are saying it may have been wrong. Some were saying that he was in the wrong in regards to Tyreek Hill. But the bottom line is just the way that it all went down from what we've seen in the videos. Things just got to get better overall. But as you see, he still shined in the game, had an amazing 80-yard touchdown as the Dolphins did beat the Jaguars 20-17. The Saints and Panthers game, Joe, with Bryce Young, his second year as quarterback, it ain't looking good for him.
It ain't looking good.
It ain't looking good. His second year, and he was the first overall pick last year, and it's not looking good at all. Yes, I know it's week 1, but it's still a continuation from what happened last year, and it just doesn't look right for him. And in Carolina, let me see any other takeaways. Like I said, we talked about the Cowboys. Yeah, Cowboys beat the Browns. Deshaun Watson. That is looking more and more like the worst contract in NFL history.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about Deshaun Watson. I really don't. Like, what can you say?
Yeah. It just bad. But what's crazy is that like Baker Mayfield, when he was with the Browns, he started to look better and better. Joe Flacco, he had that one run with the Browns, got to the playoffs. But ever since they got Deshaun Watson, it just first he's been hurt a lot, and it just hasn't clicked. And I'm not sure that it will. And it was stupid for the Browns to even give him that max contract and all that money, and he hasn't even earned it. You know what I'm saying? They did it off of a pure what you call it? With shopper, what they call them shopper, where they it was an impulse.
Oh,
move.
impulse buy, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was.
I don't know. It sucks. It's like Brendan loved the Browns because of Baker, because he loves Baker, and then kind of did a little dirty this and that, and then Deshaun's gotten there, and it's hurt or he sucks, and they have so much talent on that team,
Right.
and nothing's happening. So I did see a video that was funny. It's like, man, if you would have told me a couple of years ago Deshaun Watson threw a pass to CeeDee Lamb because he caught it on the side, like that's funny.
Yep, I peeped that. the Rams versus Lions. Now that was a game that I was on the fence because, like I said, not the same ties that Stan and Sadal have, but I still have that root for the Rams because of certain players and of course the team, whatever. But then the Lions, you know how I feel about the Lions, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Like
That's our team. That's the Platform Sports Talk Show's team right there.
yeah. So it was like you know. But it was great to see Jameson Williams from St. Louis. He had an amazing night receiving. The Rams had the opportunities. Once again, Matthew Stafford, as talented as he is, he just has those lapses where you like, what were you thinking? And
Mm-hmm.
he threw that the interception in the red zone where clear as day the Rams player was not open. And Sam Bradford was trying to force that ball in and do a clear interception. And it's
You said
like,
Sam Bradford.
I'm sorry, Matthew Bradford. I will say Sam Bradford, same thing. But might as well say it. But Matthew Stafford threw the interception. It's like, what are you thinking? And then, of course, Puka Nacua, the second-year player, second-year star, he's now going to be on injury reserve. So he's not going to play for at least 4 games. So that's a huge loss. So, but we'll see. I mean, the Rams players, the other Rams receivers did show up. The Rams defense did do pretty well as well. It was just a matter of they got worn out because of the Rams offense not doing enough to keep the defense off the field. But and then last night, Aaron Rodgers played more than one play, so that was it.
Yeah.
For the
Breaking
Jets,
news.
right? Because our show was watching. Okay, let me see about this one play. Boom. Okay, he good. He's solid. But then he was taken out the game in the fourth quarter or second half. Just because of the score. But the Jets got some issues they got to iron out. We'll see what happens. But that was week 1, and it's a wrap. So look forward to seeing what happens next in regards to the upcoming weeks. And as you see in week 2, Thursday night football, we have the Bills. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Let me put this back up on the screen. And there we go. We have the Bills and the Dolphins. Thursday night football, so that should be pretty good. And let's see, any other game to kind of catch your attention? Buccaneers and the Lions, they have a rematch from the NFC divisional round game from last year, so that should be interesting. 49ers at the Vikings, that should be a pretty good game. Let me see, anything else to catch your attention, Jobo?
Obviously, I like the Bengals Chiefs.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good one too.
Yeah, so that should be a good one for sure. I'm looking. Not really. Yeah, that obviously looks like, a prime time type game. But
Even
then
though
even though it's not. But then obviously I always pay attention to the Texans. So Texans versus Bears, but yeah.
yeah, CJ Stroud showed up and showed out last game, letting everyone know that we ain't gonna have no sophomore jinx going on. I'm the real deal.
Yeah, I did see the video of one of his passes where he slipped and still completed it. I saw someone say, if Patrick Mahomes did this, you'd just see this all over the place, which is a fact. It's true. If Patrick Mahomes slipped and still completed a pass to like Kelsey or something, you'd still be seeing it. But whatever.
And Monday Night Football next week, Falcons at Eagles. I'm going to be looking very closely in regards to Kirk Cousins, because if he does not show up and play a huge role in this game against the Eagles and they start 0-2, those fans in Atlanta are going to be wanting Michael Penix.
Yeah.
They are going to be wanting Michael Penix Jr. So Kirk Cousins, I know you just got paid a whole lot by the Falcons. I know you probably was in your feelings after they drafted Michael Penix Jr. But if you don't show something, it might be a problem. And also going back to the Steelers and Broncos, they play as well Sunday. Russell Wilson didn't play because he's hurt. Justin Fields, he played. not the best game, but he was serviceable. And word is that he probably gonna start again Sunday. I think he may have taken Russell Wilson's spot before Russell Wilson even had a chance to play.
I feel like even whenever that happened, I don't think he was going to be, I don't think anyone believed that he was going to be the starting quarterback, Russell Wilson, just after the year he had last year and whatnot, it's just, he's a backup.
Yeah. So from the NFL to college football, Mizzou, no surprise, they are 2-0. But what is more amazing is that for the first time in God knows how long, they have shut out both their opponents to start the season off. So that I guess we know it's Murray State and we in Buffalo. They do play number 24 ranked Boston College this weekend, and Mizzou I believe is now ranked like number 9 or number 6 I believe now in the country. Let me just double check while I have this up here. AP poll. Let's see, just to make sure. Mizzou is currently at number 6.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So they play once again against Boston College. Should be a great game. And now, at first, you would have said, okay, Boston College, this might be an easy win, or it might be an okay game, but Mizzou should take off. The problem is that Boston College had a huge win to start their season off. And so I think it was against who they play. Let me just double check and see who they faced. I should have had that ready, but I do want to see this real quick. Football, Boston College. They, Florida State. They beat Florida State, and at that time they were ranked like number 5 or 6 in the country at that time. So Boston College is 2-0. They just beat Duquesne 56-0.
Sheesh.
Last Saturday. So yeah, Boston College is coming to Mizzou this Saturday at 11:45 a.m. So it should be a great game.
You said they're coming here?
Yes.
Man, because I think the game we're supposed to go to is on the 21st, and that's here too. So we have like our first 4 or 5 weeks at home.
Yeah, I think you told me about that before too. Let me see. You said the 21st?
Yeah, I think it's the 21st. That's Vanderbilt, I think.
Okay. And that game now may not be an easy one either because, yeah, you're right, Vanderbilt, because they beat Virginia Tech their first game of the season. And I believe they have a whole new coaching staff too. So what we thought may have been like a kind of schedule with Mizzou, but actually it could benefit us too in the polls. You know what I'm saying? Because if we win these games, it's going to make our resume look even better for a higher seed for the college football playoffs. So let's go. But another story that we got to talk about, and this is what we do because we're a sports talk show, but that is Colorado and Nebraska. Last year, Colorado and Nebraska faced off in Colorado, and Colorado won. This past weekend, it was the other way around. They were in Nebraska, and Colorado got mollywopped. And it's the same issue that we've been saying all last year too, is that you have all that talent on the team, but it doesn't matter if you have the best wide receiver in the world, the best quarterback in the world. If your front line ain't doing the job, it's going to be a problem. And that's what happened with Shedeur Sanders and also Colorado's defensive line. They just keep getting manhandled. And it's to the point now, Joe, that we have to ask this question: Is it over for Deion and for prime time? We saw the hype. We know what he brings in regards to that star status. But when it comes down to the X's and O's and the end result of a game, do you feel like, okay, well, that the honeymoon stage is over and Deion is not going to be able to produce a winning product?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about pre-show. It's, he started off good. It was exciting last year. It was exciting the first couple of weeks and whatnot. But I mean, even by the end of the year last year, it wasn't looking that great. And I mean, I think he's fine because he's a big name, but like if he wasn't Deion Sanders, I think he'd already be gone. But they'll probably still give him they'll give him some time until he wants to stop, and who knows when he'll want to stop.
And but that's the thing is that for Colorado, yes, he is bringing in recognition. You know what I'm saying? He's bringing in the money. He has them on. They already been on the map, but they're in a bigger global map because of him. So he's bringing in things that wasn't going down in Colorado. The question is does Colorado want to be known as just an attraction without good results? Or will they say, hey, we appreciate what you brought to us, but we're not doing enough on the field? When will enough be enough for Colorado? That's going to be the biggest question, especially if Deion cannot find a way to have this team be successful and at least be bowl eligible, because the way they're doing now, and now they're in the Big 12, it's not going to get any easier down the line. It's just not. So, matter of fact, let me see about their upcoming schedule. But yeah, what are your thoughts in regards to that, Jobo? In regards to the administration in Colorado, will it get to a point where they're gonna just have to say, "Hey, we appreciate you being here and what you brought to our program, but the winning is just not it's not happening."
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen it in pro sports and in college sports as well. It sometimes the people that are in charge don't really care about the records, and they're happy they're making some good money, and I'm sure they're making some good money because because he's there. If it was me, I would like to try to see, is there someone else that could help us out and help us win some ball games? But we talk about all the time, it's all about the money, and I think that's part of it, is that they probably want to keep him because of the money, the recognition and the money that they're making with just him being there.
So I'm looking now at the schedule. So they have coming up Colorado State. Last year, that was a very close game. I think that was a game that went to like 4 or 5 overtime.
I remember I fell asleep, but I woke up and it was still on all night.
Yeah. Then they got Baylor. That's not going to be easy. UCF, K-State in Arizona. Cincinnati might be an easy one. Texas Tech, Utah. And then they have Kansas, and then to end the season, Oklahoma State. Woo!
Not going to be easy.
Woo! Yeah, so that's our NFL talk from our football talk from the NFL college football.
I just want to mention, just because I can't remember the name of the team, but the team that took down Notre Dame, that was awesome.
NIU.
And I didn't know. I still don't understand college sports sometimes, but like Brennan said, these Notre Dame paid like $1 million to have a worse team to come there at their home field to play, just to help them with their rankings, this and that. And it's the first time they beat like I think they said like a top 5 team or top 10 team ever. And the interview with the coach afterwards was awesome. He was just emotional, and I don't know, that was cool. I thought that was cool. It was cool to see that.
And it hurts Notre Dame so bad that you lost to a team like that, because Notre Dame is not in the conference. So they were dependent on winning as many games as they could, especially against higher quality teams. So their resume will look good for the college football playoff, because they can't get a top 4 spot because they're not in the conference. So like the best that they can do if they went undefeated was get a 5th seed. But now, because you lost to NIU, like, oh my God, like you really have to do some things to impress the committee so you can even be closer to 5 or even top 10. And this year it's a top 12. So Notre Dame may put themselves in a huge pile of what after that loss.
Yeah, sucks for them, but it was cool to see for for the little guy. I just think that's crazy. You pay money to have a bad team to come play you, so that it makes you look good in the long run. That's crazy in itself. But then you out and lose that game.
And it's bad. It's bad. All right. So once again, from football to now some baseball. The recent play of the St. Louis Cardinals have me feeling blank. Go ahead, fill in that blank, Jobo.
I'm gonna say annoyed. Obviously they lost the series over the weekend to the Mariners, which sucked because I needed them to beat the Mariners. It was like the one time I was like excited for them to beat up on a team so that it helps the Astros out. But they took one, that's whatever. But it's just like it's annoying, it's you go through Mother's Day until a certain point of playing great baseball, and then they did like a month and a half of just god awful baseball being Tell me why the Astros and the Cardinals, within a month of each other, went to Cincinnati, got swept, and also were shut out in one of those games in Cincinnati. I hate that. Like that like irked me. Like how? But anyways, yeah, it's just annoying because like why can't they string good baseball together consistently? Like it's frustrating. And then we went in and played all these teams that are however in the playoff race, and we go and we actually play good against all of them, but then then we can't beat up on bad teams or just teams that are at least equal to us. We can't win one here and there, so that's just annoying and frustrating. And Derek Gold put it, you have to have a lot of things go your way in order to make it to the last wild card spot. So I mean right now it's it's kind of like the end of last year, just not as bad, maybe worse. I don't know. Let's start watching some kids play. The JC's up here right now, which is cool because he's one of your top prospects. But just been another annoying, frustrating year.
Yeah, I would say the recent play of the St. Louis Cardinals had me feeling frustrated, and I say that because when we called up Jordan Walker a month ago, and Ali Marmol said that the plan was to have him be a platoon bat, and you knew from there what the hell were you doing. So then you bring him back and you say, okay, play every day. But here's the thing: is that Luke and Baker should have been called up already and doing the role that he's doing now. You know what I'm saying? Like the mindset that you wanted Jordan Walker to only face lefties, that was just wrong. Where you could have had Luke and Baker. So like what he was doing in New York, Luke and Baker, he could have been doing that earlier. Let me go back to the.
I can't remember the week that Walker was up here and who we were playing, but
it was against the. I'm trying to think who it was. I feel like I want to say it was like the Reds, the Red series maybe.
Yeah, that's when he got called up because and then it was like 6 of 7 are righties coming up. But yeah, that's when you should have called up Luke and Baker, like you said. Shoot, he probably would have hit a solo homer and not be shut out in the Great American Small Park. But but yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, so it's just the fact that you took this wrong approach during the time where we were still in the mix of it. So we were right there, and you made all these bad decisions, and then to see, as you said before, now we lost against the Dodgers, but then the Brewers, the Twins, the Padres, the Yankees, all were great series. The Brewers again, they were all great series leading up to this past weekend. But if you would have just made smarter decisions during the initial time back against the Reds in August, ain't no telling where this team could have been at this point. But because of your decision making, you made things worse. and that's the frustrating part.
No, I agree. It's very frustrating because I think at the time, whenever Walker was called up, we were like 4 games, maybe 4.5.
We was right there.
I think we're like 6th now, and then obviously you still have to have a lot happen when you are that many games back, because you have to leapfrog so many people, But at least we were right there to where if the Mets lost one, then we'll at least gain a game type thing, or the Braves. I think the Braves and the Mets keep going back and forth right now for that last wild card spot, but yeah, I don't know. It's just frustrating. I do think Ali's done a lot of good things this year, especially with the bullpen. He's been really good with that. At times, he's been good with when to pinch hit someone, this and that. But if we are going to take Mo's word for Mo's word and Ali's word for Ali's word, that Jordan Walker saga, Ali was in the wrong. But I also had to sit there, and I might have said it on here, is Mo's the boss. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Ali told you that he's only going to platoon him, then don't even call him up type thing. So, I don't know. It's frustrating. Like, that's annoyed and frustrating is the best way you can honestly put it. It makes me worrisome for next year. How are they going to construct the lineup? And that's been the main thing that everyone talks about. St. Louis media and media all over the place is just the roster construction of this team is the reason why it is where it is. Like what was our bench this year for the majority of the year? Our bench had Carpenter and Brandon Crawford on it. They weren't playing often. They weren't even taking pinch hit at bats. They weren't doing anything, So you had two lefties that were never sniffing at bats, and I understand because of who they are, but also like you're wasting roster spots. You could have had guys up here helping out in their place, So I don't know. I'm nervous for next year again because of how the last 2 years have gone. So we'll see. The offseason, we said it last year, it's going to be the biggest offseason the Cardinals have ever seen, and going into it again this year, especially if we have another losing record. We're only like a game or two above 500,
Yeah. And then let's talk about Miles Michaelis, because he has not looked good at all these last few. Maybe he may have had one game out of the last 4 or 5, but overall, it's been just terrible. And just going to the next year, well, I'm gonna say this overall. How many times, Jobo, have we said, that's just not something that the Cardinals would do?
We probably say it once a week.
Exactly.
On the show, at least. On the chat, probably more than that.
Exactly. So now you already seen on the news that Gary LaRock, the player development, he's from player development guy, he is retiring, which I think was probably forced out. They ain't gonna say it, but was they like said in the interview with Tom Ackerman that changes are coming. That may even include himself too. He ain't gonna say it right now because it's still the season, but we've been saying this for the longest time, Joe, that there needs to be dramatic changes within this organization, because it gets to a point where you're wondering, is it truly the players that's the problem, or is it the management around the players? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have the right coaching, we don't have the right system in place to maximize these players. So that's going to be the biggest question: is why isn't Gorman doing better than he should? Why isn't Walker better? Why isn't Newbar better? You know what I'm saying? Why aren't certain guys who should be doing a lot more not doing it? So I am really curious to see if they are going to finally stop having this mindset of that's just not us, and start making some dramatic changes, which, like I said, it may lead to Mo being gone himself and Gersh, because Mo knows that the writing's on the wall that his way is getting stale. So I just want to see what's going to happen next if, this offseason, because they're making the playoffs. We know that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's time for this organization to have that reality check and be like, hey, we got to bring in different people all across the board so we can have these homegrown players come up to the major leagues and start being factors.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. and even if they did, say they get rid of Mo or Mo steps down and all kinds of stuff, it still comes down to what DeWitt wants to spend. Like not even just for the players, but all these other teams in Major League Baseball have such a bigger coaching staff and just a lot more, I'm gonna say, employees in general. Whether that's down in the minor leagues, the pitching labs, the catching labs. Like I think Derek Gold said this, that they don't have anything like a catching lab. You had Yadier Molina for so long. Who was that? And then you lose him, and then you got all these guys that just don't really know. They're not learning, I guess, what Yadier was doing, or something like that. There needs to be like a catching lab, because I think that's one of the most glaring problems with the team is our catchers. I mean, obviously, like Pages and Herrera have been fine for us this year, but and it's not just the arms, but it has to do with how slow the pitcher throws to the plate, and now with the extra, the bigger bases and whatnot. But our catchers can't throw anyone out. I could probably swipe a bag off the catchers, and I don't understand it. Why can't all their arms are so weak? It goes back to Kisner even. Kisner was awful, throwing guys out. Contreras, he has a cannon, and that's why it's like it's not just on the catcher. He has a cannon, but he barely throws anyone out either. And I know I say it today. Pages did throw out Ellie De La Cruz today, but not the purpose of what I'm trying to say. But that has something to do with it. Like DeWitt needs to be willing to spend the money to try to get more people in the organization, the right people in the organization. It's not even just about the players themselves. Like, yeah, I would like to see them spend money on the right type of players. Because that's another thing you always hear people say. It's like, well, they do spend money. They do. But they spent it on Brandon Crawford this year. Like that shouldn't be who we're going out to get. I understand he was a veteran presence and this and that to help Mason win out. But now he's gone. He's been gone for about a month. So you wasted money on that, So it's just all around. All around there needs to be some big change. And I just don't know if we'll see that.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say one more thing about the Cardinals in regards to the players. I forgot what I was gonna say. Tip of the tongue. But yeah, like I said, overall, it is just frustrating what's going on with this team. Even the bugs out there are mad, Jobo. in in the boondocks, the cicadas
Oh,
are
you
out.
hear him? My bad.
Good. They're frustrated. They want to have their voices heard as well. I understand, cicadas. It is all good. That's how it is right now with the Cardinals. But just once again, they just have to have an overhaul of this different, fresh energy with this organization. Because if not, it's going to be the same thing repeatedly going on. You have to make changes. And that's what I want to bring up. So word is that they may focus on targeting a big power bat, a big influential offensive bat, and they
What
may
do you mean influential?
meaning that it has to be a stud. And like the first person that came to mind, and I brought this up to you a while back, and you were like, "Hell no!" But the first person that came to my mind, cause like no matter if we're playing at home or we're playing on the road, we need to get someone who's good for both. Because how we have some guys on our team that can hit the ball out of any other place, but when it comes to Bear Stadium, the ball always lands in the freaking warning track. But we need to have someone who can do it at home and on the road. And the first person I thought about was Pete Alonso. That's the first person that came to mind.
No, I mean he's a free agent. He's consistently hitting like 30 to 40 homers. I don't like the attitude with him, but that's going to be one of the biggest bats out there. I'm trying to think if Christian Walker is a free agent or not, but he's another guy that's kind of like that. I would have to sit down and look at the actual free agents. talk while I close this garage door.
It's all good. But something that I've been saying in the past to Joe as well, just from how I'm seeing the Cardinals, yes, I would love to get a great starting pitcher, like a Dylan Cease if he was available, or at the time of Verlander and Max Scherzer. But I've always felt that it's important to get a power bat, because let's say if we did get a Scherzer at the time, or a Verlander at the time, or a Kershaw at the time, those pitchers can do so many amazing things, but because of our offense, they still might lose the game because we don't have that impact on the offensive side.
And you see that with obviously locally right now. You would have seen that this past weekend with the Mariners, but they have the best starting and pitching ERA in all of baseball. And Logan Gilbert went out there and he absolutely dominated us. Almost could have thrown he did technically throw a complete game on Saturday, because even though he didn't go 9 innings, but he made one mistake to Pajes and lost the game. But yeah, so Mariners have been dealing with something like that all year. They just don't have the offense really, but I there's a way to do both. You shouldn't be going out and spending all your money on Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson.
Right.
And just there's a way to do it. You can trade for a pitcher, and it doesn't have to be the biggest name out there. You just need somebody who not only can eat innings, because I know that's what they were going for this year. Oh, we need to eat innings. But you need someone out there to strike someone out. They just don't have strikeout pitchers. And they think the whole, we have a pitcher's ballpark, so whatever. Well, guess what? You don't play home every freaking game. You go on the road and you play in these little bandbox stadiums and whatnot. You need someone who's going to strike you out, and we just don't have that. So, but yeah, there's a way to do both. You can go out there and get one more arm, and go out there and get a big bat. And especially obviously because Goldie hasn't been the typical Goldie this year, but I'm assuming he's not coming back next year. I don't know what they're going to do with that. I'm assuming he's not coming back next year. So you need someone. You need someone else to put up there with possibly Jordan Walker and Nolan Arenado and Burleson, Contreras.
Yeah.
You just need more.
Yeah, so that's our baseball talk, and we're going to wrap things up with the WNBA. The WNBA is experiencing a fever, and it's only just begun. And when I say that, I'm talking about the Indiana fever. Last night, I know y'all talked about it briefly, but I got to go in and talk about this because this has been, of course, a hot topic. And some people tired about talking about it, but you got to, because that's what's hot right now. And Caitlin Clark, ever since the Olympics, I said this on the show last time I was on, that being off for that 4-week period was the best thing that happened to Caitlin Clark. And you're seeing the results because she has been doing her thing, and she has galvanized the whole Indiana Fever team. They are playing amazing right now. The last game of the season is next Thursday, and then you got the playoffs. And I bring it up because you look at the standings now that I'm about to show on the screen. And let me go here and do this real quick. But yes, so New York Liberty, they are still overall the number one team by a couple of games. But the 6th spot, the Fever, are already clinched. They are 8-2 in their last 10 games. That's the third highest, or second highest, behind the Lynx and, of course, the Liberty. But there's going to be, I don't think there's one team right now in the WNBA, Joe, that really wants to face the Fever, because they are hitting on all cylinders right at the right time. And I love this playoff format in the WNBA, and I kind of wish the NBA would take this, because as you can see, you don't see the West on one side or whatever, and the East. You're seeing the best teams right now. So when the playoffs start, no matter if it's the East or the West, they all combine just the best overall records, and that's how they do their matchups. and I love that. It's not based on conference and division or whatever it is. It's just based off of overall record. That's how they do the seedings. So I look forward to the playoffs. I look forward to seeing what Caitlin Clark is going to do. That's why I have the most utmost respect for her, because she is doing the things that people were saying, "Oh, well, can't she handle this?" We had a whole show about that a while back, Joe, talking about how certain players were, talking about, well, get ready for the big leagues and get ready for how it's going to be physical in the WNBA. Da, 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 da. And Caitlin Clark didn't say nothing but this ball, and she has taken the world by storm. I mean, like the Dallas Wings had a home game, right, against the Fever, and one player from the Dallas Wings doing a press conference was like, "I'm disappointed that there are more fans cheering for Caitlin Clark at our home place, but I realize that it's also good for the game. All she gonna do is keep on bringing more money because people want to see what she's doing." Now, also, shouts out to the best player overall in the game, Adria Wilson. No doubt, she's gonna win MVP again. She's doing that. But Caitlin Clark is coming. like Coach Prime, she coming.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
And like I said, it only just begun, because she wait till the off season when she gets even stronger and gets even more of that confidence and gets even more of the team, whatever. Oh my God. Like these next couple of years are going to be something to see for the WNBA.
No, I mean, shoot, I think I've said on here before, every time I go on social media or if I go on my computer and it's like the MSN news thing, it's Caitlin Clark's on there a couple different times, like she shows up everywhere. So no, it's good for her. It's good for the sport of WNBA, and shoot, we talked about it last year before her and Angel Reese and whatnot showed up in the league, that it was picking up. People are starting to recognize the WNBA a little bit, and it's only going to get better for them.
Yeah. So should be once again a great WNBA playoff. This should be starting in about 2 weeks, so stay tuned for that. And with that being said, our special edition of the Platform Sports Talk Show on a Tuesday is a wrap, just like that. So, Joe, as always, I appreciate you, to the whole Sports Talk Show fam. I know y'all doing y'all thing, so much love to y'all. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. For those watching tonight, thank you very much. Give us the like, give us that share all over social media. We appreciate it. Stay tuned for some upcoming highlights that I will be posting in the next couple of days, or maybe tomorrow. We shall see.
Like you saying Sam Bradford.
Right. So, but to my wife, once again, tomorrow, 3 years of the best times of my life. And I love you and look forward to celebrating our 3-year wedding anniversary. We're going to have a great time and just enjoy everything. So that's how it should be. The Cardinals are, I think, down by 2 at this time to the Reds. No surprise there. You know how it goes when we play against, when we level the playing field with a team that, we should be better than, but you know how it is. But once again, give us that like, that follow on all across social media. We are on Facebook, we on X, on Instagram. Go on YouTube, subscribe, click on that bell, because anytime we go live, you will be notified. Shoot us an email, platformsportstalkshow@gmail.com. We are still working on getting back on Roku, so hold on tight, all the Roku maniacs. You can also listen in to us on Hot 365 Radio, where it's always hot. We will have this show streaming tomorrow on Hot 365 Radio. It'll also be broadcast again on Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time as well. So, of course, ladies' night every first Wednesday of the month. And every last Wednesday, you have the Man Cave. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube for Smoooth Conversations, Smoooth with 3 O's. Appreciate all the love. And don't forget, go online, smoothproductions.com, and go to the shop and check out a shirt or hoodie that you want to get for yourself and put the order in and keep yours truly busy. Jobo from the Boondocks, I appreciate you. And we will do it again next week. Have a great week, Jobo. Everyone else, have a great rest of your week as well. The Platform Sports Talk Show. And we done. Peace.